We start in Susquehanna County. A 61-year-old man shot and killed his neighbor and then opened fire on first responders, injuring 2 Pennsylvania state troopers. The frightening series of events played out this morning along Route 171. That's about 40 miles north of Scranton, near the town of Thompson. We just learned new details, and CBS Philadelphia's Carrie Corrado joins us now from the newsroom. Carrie?
Yuki, good evening. State police say the troopers were ambushed. They say the shooter was firing at them from a distance, and they say he killed a woman right before they arrived.
I am always strengthened by and lifted up by the heroism and the bravery that these troopers demonstrate in just really, really difficult circumstances.
Governor Shapiro praised the courage of 2 Pennsylvania state troopers who were shot in the line of duty Thursday afternoon in Susquehanna County. State Police Colonel Christopher Paris said troopers Joseph Perechinsky and William Jenkins were ambushed in Thompson Township by 61-year-old Carmine Faino, who was armed with a semi-automatic weapon.
And they were ambushed from a very good distance away. I don't want to quantify that pending further investigation, but they were ambushed by several rounds of rifle fire from a position of tactical superiority.
State police say Trooper Perechinsky, who has been with the force for 6 years, was shot twice in the chest. They say Trooper Jenkins, who has been with the force for 10 years and is married and a father to 4, was shot in each arm. Both were airlifted after being pulled to safety by other troopers. Investigators say Trooper Perechinsky placed a tourniquet on Trooper Jenkins as their cars were getting riddled with bullets.
He quite likely almost saved the life of his partner and the life of community members who were in the area. He acted decisively. He acted thoughtfully.
State police also say an EMT who was responding crashed after his car was shot at too.
He was able to make it out of his vehicle, and he actually hid for fear that the actor would continue firing upon him.
State police say this all started when Faino shot Lori Wasko, his neighbor. Wasko's boyfriend called 911, and that's when the troopers were fired at. State police set up a perimeter, tried to negotiate with Faino, who shot down their drone and was later killed.
At one point, I will tell you, he was sitting on a propane tank, which caused further concern that he had attempted to turn that into an improvised explosive device.
State police say the troopers and the EMT are in good spirits. Governor Shapiro says he was able to talk to Trooper Perechinsky.
They're in such good spirits that we were, busting chops a little bit, which is always a good sign. When a cop can bust chops, it means they're going to be okay.
Again, both troopers and the EMT are stable. There is no threat to the community. State police say this is just the beginning of their investigation. Yuki?
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises due to the Most High. And here we have yet another shooting of police officers that we have heard nothing about. This happened on August the 7th, almost 2 months ago, in Susquehanna County, Pennsylvania. Thompson, Pennsylvania is the city specifically. A little bit of the racial demographic of that city is 97% white and 0.3% black, as well as the whole entire county. Not many black people there as well. About 93 or 94% white and 0.36% black. So when I was looking at this video, I automatically assumed that it was a white man, and you can kind of tell from that news video that there's not a lot of focus on the horrific nature of this crime. Now, this man, 61 years old, Carmine Faino, they didn't really focus on that. They didn't even show you a picture of him, but because I have done my due diligence and found this picture right here, this was made, and this is Carmine Faino. And you see, this was on a Facebook post, like no article, Newsweek, New York Times, New York Post, nobody had this picture right here. I had to dig and prod and find this picture of this man who killed his 57-year-old neighbor. Now, they had a lot of pictures of her. Killed her first. After he killed her, her boyfriend called the police. Called the state troopers. State troopers arrived. They immediately get ambushed, as the trooper said, or the chief said, from a tactical superiority advantage, meaning, he was plotting. He was laying in wait for these police officers. Now, fortunately for those police officers, they only got, they only got wounded, but one was shot twice in the chest and one twice in the arms. And, you hear that, I guess whoever that last guy is talking about, yeah, we was busting chops. And it's always a good sign that police officers can bust chops. And he was laughing about it. But you don't see any condemnation or vitriol towards this guy. Now, you heard them say that he was sitting on a propane tank, trying to possibly improvise that into an explosive device. Like, I'm going to shoot this tank and blow everybody up. Just mass destruction and mayhem that this guy caused, but yet and still there is no coverage of it. Now, this happened in the middle of Pennsylvania 2 months ago. Also, he shot at an emergency responding vehicle. Now, he didn't actually hit that gentleman, but because the person had to veer out of the way to avoid getting hit by gunfire, that person was also injured. And they eventually said that, they killed him, right? Well, just take a look at this, the calmness and almost, the matter-of-factness that this sheriff speaks about the attempted murder of 2 police officers and the murder of another white woman in the community, and also the attempted murder of a first responder. Watch how casually he speaks about this.
The troopers made it out of their vehicle, and they were ambushed from a very good distance away. I don't want to quantify that pending further investigation, but they were ambushed by several rounds of rifle fire from a position of tactical superiority. Trooper Perechinsky was shot twice in the chest/torso area. Trooper Jenkins was shot twice as well, once in each arm. Carmine, Carmine, Faino, Faino, repeating Faino, 61 years of age. Faino is the resident at 20034. So technically he would be a neighbor of Wasko and her live-in longtime boyfriend. However, their properties are separated by several hundred yards. He, we believe at this point, murdered Lori Wasko, and he was the shooter who shot both of our 2 troopers, as well as who shot at Carl Lawson.
Very matter-of-factly, right? This man killed a woman, his neighbor, shot at 2 police officers and a first responder. Now, also, Newsweek article said that he was actually the suspect or arrested for a home invasion a couple of weeks earlier after or before this incident. And so here we have a career criminal, how they talk about the people in the Cincinnati brawl, how they shouldn't have been on the streets. There's no mention of this, right? And those people over there only had a fight. This guy tried to take out 2 police officers and was so non-compliant that they had to take his life. But there is no knowledge. There is no picture of him in anywhere. And once again, I always point this out because it's always a protection of whiteness in these situations. Apparently, there was a young man out in, I can't even think of the place the other day, but that man was black man, right? He was a black man, and he was involved in a situation where he was shot by the police. They had his picture on the screen in 4 hours. And also another Hispanic guy as well. And so we have to take a look at these things and realize that why are white criminals less inclined to be exposed and shown and paraded and condemned as black criminals are. Once again, there's the age-old, blacks are more criminal, more violent, more in need of policing than any other group. But here we see another instance of a white man shooting at police and taking them out, trying to take them out, as well as some neighbors. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And as always, I pray you have Peace and blessings.